It is well past time for you to stop auditioning to prove that you are worthy to do favors for other people. Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia, and I created this channel to document the lessons I've learned through my years of inner work and healing. Let's get into it. I know that as a giving person, you may feel debited to help others who have less than you. And sometimes those people who are not appreciative, who are very ungrateful, selfish, and inconsiderate, they will make it seem like you have an obligation to help them because you have more than them. That's just not the case. A lot of people out here don't even realize that they're really being manipulated. Like, so many people don't realize you're being manipulated into helping others. And the only reason why you don't catch on, you don't know, is because you don't mind. Like, helping others, like, you love to help other people, not even in a people pleasing way, but just in you love to help. Like, for me personally, I was always that type of person, especially in school. Whenever I would receive something, I would share it because it's like, I don't mind sharing. Like, I see people sitting there. Sometimes they're pouting, but whether it's my friends or whatever, it's like, I just want to give. Like, I don't like to see people without. And like, if I have it, like, you can have it too. It was always that one for all. Um, all for one, whichever one it was. Which one? All for one? No, one for all. I don't know. It's one of those. But I never mind. I never really cared about not sharing, like not sharing. Like, I never just took what I did and took what I earned and held it off to myself, like, and hid it. Under my coat or whatever. And part of it is childhood dynamics of sharing is caring. We were taught that it was good to share. But the thing about that is sharing was usually reciprocated. Because if it wasn't, that's when the snitch comes out, okay? Like, when you're in school and somebody wants to use your markers and you say no, then that child goes up to the teacher, starts whining and complaining. She won't let me share her markers. And then it's like, she won't share her markers with me. And then the teacher comes up and they're like, Alicia, what do we say about sharing? And there's quote unquote consequences, and you will be essentially forced to share, right? But we have to dispel childhood dynamics in our adult life because it is not required for anybody to do anything. You don't owe anybody anything, and nobody owes you anything. And while that can sound harsh, it really is just a balance. Because if you're out here and you give way too much, you're going to be depleted. In fact, I feel like you're depleted. I know you're depleted, which is why you clicked on this video. You can get depleted, but what a lot of people really need to understand is that balance is needed for anything. And we know this, right? If something is not balanced, the scales are going to tip and everything is going to be off balance. Like, it's not going to be well. So it's very important for you to understand how much your giving nature, who you are, has to be protected with boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries. We hear this word so much. I know I do. But there's a reason for that, because it is a necessity. We can't overlook and we can't skip boundaries, and we can't be afraid to set boundaries. I feel like a lot of times when it comes to people, some people, they say setting boundaries is mean. They don't want to be seen as mean. And we got to unpack that, right? We got to unpack the perception of why we feel like, why do we want people to perceive us as, like, why do we not want people to perceive us as a quote unquote bitch, right? Like, or mean. Like, why don't we want that? Like, what's so bad about that? Do we feel like we will get mistreated because we're mean? And really, it's the exact opposite. Because once people find out that you're mean, ain't nobody really fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this whole stigmatized thing of, oh well, if I'm mean, then I'll get judged or people won't like me, and it's true to an extent. People won't like you, but the right people won't like you. Like, for some of us, we need to realize that it is a blessing to be disliked by people, because the very same people who won't like you are the very same people who won't have their hand out with nothing in it. Okay, the very same people, they will not have their hand out with nothing in it. So you need to be blessed that people like that don't like you. We have to unpack the reason why we want to be liked so much by people. We have to unpack that. It's our perception that is we want to be seen as nice and sweet. But baby, the only thing that nice and sweet, the only doors that nice and sweet opens are the doors to disrespect. And I feel like we know that, right? You can be kind and gentle because we all know nice, kind without boundaries is nice, and nice is performative. Because again, if you're only being nice to get something out of someone, even if that is a positive perception of you, that's still technically manipulation. Even though you're not really trying to get something tangible, you're focusing on the intangible aspects of people seeing you in a nice way. But we have to unpack that. Why do you want people to see you as nice and sweet so much? Like, why are you really trying to be accepted by people who only want to use you? That's the biggest question. We really have to go and trace this back. We have to go back to our very first memory of being mean, saying no. Is it was it a dynamic where it's like you told somebody no because you really didn't want to share your markers? Maybe they were on this last leg and you really needed them, etc., etc. And the teacher, and the student ran to the teacher and told the teacher, and you got in quote unquote trouble. Like, was that your first point of contact? Were you like physically reprimanded for saying no, for being quote unquote mean? It has everything to do with that first point of contact, because childhood dynamics do not translate to the adult world. You understand me? Okay, the whole sharing is caring is great. Sharing is caring only when you want to, only when you have the time, energy, and resources to actually give to other people. You understand? But it's not an obligation or a requirement like it would be in school, in childhood, where you would get in trouble for saying no, but you're not a child anymore. I want a lot of us to recognize that we are not children anymore. We do not have to subscribe to childhood rules, because that does not translate in the real world, in reality. So going back, pinpointing that first time where you felt some type of way, where like your body just constricts, like maybe your chest area constricts, you get butterflies in your gut, like your stomach. Think back to that first time, and what I would suggest doing, journal. Journal and write a letter to that younger self to let her know that at this time in your life it was perfectly okay to want to put yourself first. It's perfectly okay to say no in some instances. I know this because when you are a good person at heart, you know that you never have any ill intentions or ill will towards anyone. So as long as you know who you are, that's all that matters, right? We try so hard to try to convince people to see the good in us. It can work for some people, But a lot of people only want to see the good in us, or only wants to accept the good in us so they can extract it and use it for their own gain. That's how this world is. Okay, that's just how this world is. Where in childhood it was selfishness. Oh, you have that, so I want to have it too, etc., etc. And that translates to the adult world too. Like, there are some people who think like that. Like, you really got to understand, there are a lot of just big babies in these adults. Okay, these 30, 40 year olds still living, still have a 5 year old mindset. That's just the reality. And a lot of us really do, unless we never take the time to unlearn what we thought was law in childhood. Like, that was law in childhood. You will get in trouble. You will get punished for not sharing, for not being giving, right? But again, that is not the reality. And that does not make your life any better. Because while the teacher may give you, I don't know, like a participation award, or what, like a good child award or whatever, I don't know, award, I don't know what they call it now, or they give you some candy for sharing, you get rewarded for being good. But that's really just not the case in reality. So back to my point, whenever was the first time you felt like your body just negatively reacts to you saying no? You have to think back to that first time where you remember, where you got in trouble, or you felt that it was unsafe for you to put yourself first, for you to say no, for you to stick up for yourself. Sit down, write a letter, write whatever you want to say to that child, right? Sit down and just write. Give them words of affirmation, give them mantras, give them compassion, give them love. Because in reality, I mean, you were a child, you only knew what you knew. But now that you do know better, and you're grown now, you absolutely can go back and speak to that child, let them know, hey, I know that you're trying to protect me now. Okay, so what worked back then just doesn't work now. I know that when your chest constricts, and like when your throat tightens up, like if any type of nervous system reaction, right? Like, it's your nervous system that's irregular. You got to let that child know that it's safe, right? It was unsafe. It may have been quote unquote unsafe back then, but right now it is safe for you in this adult life, whether you're 21, 25, 30, however old you are. Right now, you are safe to say no. You are safe to put yourself first, because there will be no repercussions. Like, I mean, for 99% of us, I don't know. For 99%, there are no repercussions for you saying no, right? And if there is, just know that you'll be able to handle it no matter what. Like, you can handle, like, you are a grown adult now. You absolutely can handle it. Like, if there's any backlash, if there's any rebuttals, you said what you said. Because again, you're grown. You're not a child. Nobody can run and tell the principal and tell the teacher. And a lot of times, you can also realize that sometimes, even if you are afraid to say no, sometimes that person will respect it. They'll respect your decision. They'll respect you more for being able to say no. So it's not always like the reaction is going to be, it's just going to be a visceral reaction. No, it can be a very pleasant reaction. You can just say, hey, I'm not available for that, or I can't do this. And don't explain yourself. Don't over explain. Because that's letting the other person know. It's like, it's giving them, yeah, never over explain, right? Just say, hey, I can't do it. And even if you still maybe feel that tightness in your chest, or however your body reacts, just tell yourself, I am safe. It is safe right now. Just breathe through it. Okay. Even if you say no and you feel your body react, if you got to get up, go to a bathroom, and just breathe through it, you can breathe through it, because what you're experiencing right now is just emotions, and emotions pass. You know what they say emotions are? Energy in motion. because that emotion is going to pass through you, and then it's going to be gone, and that's it. That is not something that you have to carry around. Like, we don't have to carry around these negative emotions with us, these harsh and these tight emotions in our body. That's not something that we have to deal with every day. Because I know a lot of times when you have emotions, when you say yes, when you really want to say no, you still have those emotions lodged within you. And that really is telling yourself, that's your adult self saying, like, hey, you're self abandoning yourself. Even though your inner child may feel soothed for the moment because you protected it, it feels safe for not having any, for not being reprimanded when you said for not saying no, right? But your adult self is like, hey, you're abandoning yourself because you don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to go above and beyond for people. You don't have to do that. So I want to leave you with this mantra that can also help you as you are exploring and you're putting yourself first and you're setting your boundaries and you're saying no. Okay, my mantra, something that I say all the time: my needs must be honored. There is no negotiation. This is a law. This is the new law that you're overriding. Like the whole sharing is caring, that's a law. Your new law is to be replaced with my needs must be honored, or whatever you want to replace it with if you have something else. But that's what I tell myself. My needs must be honored. And this is, again, also especially because I know myself. I'm not out here with any ill will. I'm not manipulating people to get what I want. I'm not lying. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not doing any of that. I know myself. And I know I'm a good person at heart. So when I put myself first, there is absolutely no guilt because I know I deserve it and I know I am worthy. The same way that I feel like everyone else deserves to have what they want, I can do the same. Why can't I do that for me? Because I am. I am. I'm going to do that for me. So yeah. I want to thank you so much for watching. I have plenty more videos in store, so if you are interested, please hit that subscribe button and I will see you soon.